I did it, he cried. I used her for money ritual. Please forgive me. As the crowd erupted in anger and sorrow, Osaze began laughing uncontrollably. His laughter turned to scream and he collapsed. The streets of Benin City were alive with the usual chaos. Traders shouted over one another. Hawkers wove between cars in gridlock traffic, and the distant horn of generator filled the air. Osaze leaned against his battered Toyota Camry, watching the world go by. His phone buzzed in his pocket, but he ignored it. He had bigger concern than answering his mother's incessant calls about why he wasn't looking for a real job. Osaze had a dream to escape the grinding poverty that has shackled him since childhood. His father's death has left the family struggling, and though his mother has done her best, life had never been easy. But Osaze wasn't interested in hard work. He wanted quick money, the kind that allows you to flaunt wealth and silence your critics. His friends, Kingsley and Emeka, were living proof that such wealth was possible. Emeka drove a Mercedes Benz and wore designer clothes, while Kingsley has just bought a duplex in the heart of the city. They were part of the Yahoo Boys elite scammer who prey on unsuspecting foreigners online. You too dull, Kingsley said one evening, lighting a cigarette as they sat outside a nightclub. This life no be for boys wey dey fear risk. If you no wan do the ritual, forget am. Osaze's chest tightened. He had heard the whisper about ritual, blood sacrifices, human parts, and the darkness that followed. But Kingsley assured him it wasn't that serious. No be human sacrifice, Kingsley said with a smirk. Just bring something from someone close to you. Baba go handle the rest. Osaze nodded slowly, the seed of temptation taking root. He thought of Evie. She loved him, trusted him, and always believed in his dream. She had stood by him when no one else did. Na small thing, Kingsley added, sensing his hesitation. Think about the money. Think about how you go fit take care of her well if you blow. Osaze did not need much convincing after that. Evie was everything to Osaze. Her laughter was like music, her touch a balm for his weary soul. But even her love could not quell the greed that has taken hold of him. One humid evening, as Evie prepared dinner in the kitchen, Osaze roamed through her wardrobe. His hands shook as he sifted through her neatly folded clothes. Finally, he found what he was looking for, a lacy red pant that she had worn just the day before. He stared at it, guilt crawling at his inside, but the thought of wet pushed him forward. He stuffed the item into the bag just as Evie walked into the room. Baby, what are you looking for? She asked, her face bright with a smile. Osaze forced a laugh. Ah, nothing, just looking for my shirt. She kissed him on the cheek and returned to the kitchen. You mean a tone? He watched her go, his chest tight with shame. That night, Osaze visited the shrine. The native doctor, a weary man with piercing eyes, performed the ritual under the crescent moon. The air was thick with the smell of burning herbs, and the chant of unseen voice echoed through the forest. It is done, the native doctor said, his voice low and ominous. Well to follow you now, but remember, the spirit demand balance. The price has been paid. Osaze tried not to think about what those words meant. The results were immediate. Within days, Osaze's online scam began yielding massive payouts. He woke up one morning to find his account flooded with millions of naira. The transformation was astonishing. He bought a sleek black Lexus, rented a penthouse, and filled his wardrobe with designer clothes. Ivie was overjoyed. Baby, I'm so proud of you, she exclaimed when he surprised her with a diamond bracelet. She did not ask questions about where the money came from. She was just happy to see him thriving. But the happiness was short lived. Ivy started acting strangely. At first, it was small thing, forgetting conversation, staring blankly into space. Then it escalated. She began muttering to herself, her eyes dating around as if she was saying things no one else could. One night, Osaze woke up to find Ivy standing at the foot of their bed. Her face twisted in terror. They are coming, she whispered. They are everywhere. What are you talking about? He asked, sitting up. She screamed and ran out of the room. Over the next few days, her condition worsened. She wandered the street barefoot, talking to herself and lashing out to anyone who approached her. Osaze watched helplessly as the woman he loved descended into madness. Her family was distraught. They tried everything, doctors, traditional healers, even herbal remedies, but nothing worked. In desperation, Ivie's family turned to faith. They brought her to Prophet Amos, a renowned pastor known for his powerful deliverance session. The church was packed that day, the air heavy with the sense of incense and the sound of fervent prayers. Prophet Amos stood on the pulpit, his voice booming. Today the chain of darkness shall be broken, he declared. As the prayer intensified, Ivy began conversing. Her scream echoed through the church as Prophet Amos laid hand on her. There is evil here, he shouted. Someone close to her has done this. The spirit is revealing the truth. Ivy, still in trace, began speaking. Her voice was not her own. It was deep and guttural, sending chill through the congregation. He took it, my love, he betrayed me. Osaze, who had reluctantly came to the church, felt the blood drain from his face. The congregation turned to him, their eyes burning with suspicion. Osaze, the prophet called, do you have something to confess? Osaze bolted from the church, but he could not escape the guilt. Nightmare plugged him, and the strange thing began happening. His car engine would die without explanation. Mirrors in his apartment shattered on their own, and he heard Ivie's voice in silence. Unable to talk to anyone, he returned to the church one Sunday and fell to his knee before the congregation. I did it, he cried. I used her for money. It's me. The church erupted in chaos. Ivie's family wept and others shouted angrily. Prophet Amos raised his hands, calling for calm. As Osaze confessed, something slipped into him. He began laughing hysterically, his body contorting as if controlled by an unseen force. His laughter turned to scream, and he collapsed. When he stood up again, his eyes were vacant, and he muttered incoherently, Osaze has gone mad. Osaze became a wandering figure in Benin City. His once proud statue reduced to a shell of a man. Locals avoided him, whispering his story as a cautionary tale. Ivie, though scared, found healing in her faith in family. She started an organization that helped women who had suffered similar fate, turning her pain into purpose. And so the story of Osaze and Ivie became legend, a haunting reminder of the danger of greed and betrayal. At the end, Osaze never regained his sanity.